Come on. Why won't this thing work? There's something wrong with this gimbal. Come on, guy. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. It's kind of working. It's kind of leaning, look. That's not supposed to happen. Are we live? We're live! Hey, everybody! Sorry. This is an extremely unusual and very, very awkward live stream for several reasons, but I'm just gonna list one. It's because I don't have a gimbal anymore. It's because I don't have one of these. This, right here in my hand, is what I've been using for the last about 10 months now. Nine or 10 months. I've been using this gimbal. This here is the, I can never pronounce it. A Zhiyun, or it's Zhiin, or it's Zhiyun. I'm not sure. Hold on a second, it's written on here. Maybe it's not. But this gimbal has been an amazing gimbal. This, I got it for about $100, about 11 or 12,000 yen. Now they're more expensive in Japan. And I got this attachment to it. Check it out. And I'm sharing this for you because this affects our show. I got this little skirt that goes around to it and allows me to attach a microphone and something else. So if I want to attach an attachment. So there you go. That's what it looks like. This is the Smooth Q. And I've really, really liked it. But now, one of the motors is dead. And I just cannot balance it. It's just dead. And you can see when I move it around, it tips to the side, left and right. It's like you're sick on a boat. That just means that it's old. Technology's not supposed to last forever. Hello, James. Hello. Hey, guys. So, today, I had to get a new gimbal. And I'm going to be unboxing it right now. And if you saw the thumbnail, you already know what it is. It was the gimbal that I did not want to get. I did not want to get this gimbal. I really had no choice. Because this gimbal, and I'm looking at Zhiyun, a really nice company that begins with a Z. I'm talking directly to you because this is no longer available in Japan. It's sold out. In fact, it's out of stock. You can't even buy them, and this is what I wanted to get. I wanted to get the exact same one. Why? Because I can put a light right here. There's a USB port. I can put a light. The handle is really nice to hold too. The new one, which is called the Smooth 4, it's like holding a book in your hand. The shape is bad, but this is so nice. It's got a hole on the bottom to add the tripod. My first DJI Osmo did not have that. It balances perfectly. It's very flexible. The weight payload is good. I added a little Velcro to add an attachment so I could add a counterweight and put a wide-angle lens on it. It worked awesome. But then one day, it just died. And it died when I needed it. This is the thing with technology and doing location shoots. You have to have a backup plan. You have to have a plan B. And all you kids watching this, always have a plan B and a plan C. The older you get, sometimes you gotta turn to plan C. And sometimes plan C is better than plan A and B. I'm just saying. So, with that said, I'm gonna get right to it. We got no gimbal. So the only way to do this is just literally go like this. This is the way we did it in like 2016, before the gimbal age. Yeah, Zhiyun is the name of it. Hold on a second, hold on, I did it wrong. That's how we do an unboxing. Slap it down there on the floor. This here is the Osmo Mobile 2. And I really loved my first DJI Osmo, the Osmo Mobile 1. In fact, it was so good that I was waiting for this to come out, and it was just taking forever, so I bought this one. And that's my iPhone 6, because I got to use my iPhone 7 to stream this one. I got this one because I was waiting so long for this to come out. I got this, and I really fell in love with this one. Look, it goes 360. There's nothing to lock it. It just keeps rotating, and I love this. I don't need a lot of features. Everything that I do is streamed. So all these buttons, turn on, turn off, that's it. Now this fell off. It's supposed to be glue. It was glued on there and it just fell off one day and I never found it again. This is the joystick to move it around, but I just don't use it. Everything I use is inside of the phone to talk to you. Right now, I don't need a gimbal, but I do because I like smooth video just like you guys. And I got this today. I got this in Big Camera and Yorakucho. I usually go to Yodobashi Camera, but I went to Big Camera today, and it was, this was actually, yeah, old school. I'm doing it old school. Now this in America is $119, $120 for this. In Japan, it cost me 18,000 yen, which is $160. So it's $40 or $50 more in Japan than in America for the exact same thing. Electronics in Japan, despite it, Japan making a lot of the electronics, is just more expensive here than in the United States. The United States is a competitive market. So it's always going to be a little bit cheaper in the United States, even for things made in Japan. This is the Osmo Mobile 2. And I got this because I had no choice. This one is not made in Japan or in stock. They want you to buy their Smooth 4. But the Smooth 4 has a wheel on it, and it's heavier, and it's bigger, and it has stuff I don't need. I need this. And this is just, this is really hard to open. I need a knife. I only have fingernails. Now, people told me that my fingernails are gross and disgusting in the sandwich episode, and this is why, because I gotta open stuff up. Yeah, what'd you say about my mother? Huh? What'd you say? Okay. That's right. You want to get stuff done, you just gotta rip it open. So I'm gonna retitle this, Man Struggles to Unbox Gimbal. Sounds like a good title. All right, here we go. Well, I'm glad that they made it, I made it hard to open. Directions. Okay, check this out. 3, 2, 1. You know, they don't show this when they do the unboxings, do they? Nice. You can keep these, by the way. They kind of can come in useful if you just don't eat them. All right. One of these wires. I was hoping for USB-C. These are the USB micros. That's okay. I got a million of these. The good thing about it is that it's easy to find these wires. All right. Look at the handle. It feels good in your hands. This is gonna be nice. It's got this. It's got this here. The original DJI Osmo did not have this, where you can add the tripod to the bottom. If you wanted to add a tripod, you had to have a this thing. You had to have this thing on it, and this was attached to the side. But actually, no, it won't fit. I didn't like the color. I didn't want gray. It looks cheap and plasticky, this gray, but it's all that they had. All right, let's try this and see if it works, huh? All right, this is called passing the buck to another. Let's see what's different here. How do I do this with one hand? All right. I hope I don't break this one. I didn't break this. It just died. Maybe it's under warranty. I seriously wanted to get another one. I just didn't have the choice. Now, whenever you have a gimbal, you have to, before it starts, make sure that it's balanced, and it's not balanced right now. You have to adjust it to balance. This is a plus, so usually you have to pull it out all the way. All right, there you go. It's pretty much balanced if you pull it out all the way. There you go. All right. Actually, it's not. I hope... Hold on a second. All right, old school, old school. balance it. Okay. All right. The secret to the gimbals is to always balance them. You always have to make sure that they're balanced, because that means that it saves the battery from overworking. It saves the gimbal's motors from overworking. So you have to calibrate it, we call it in the industry. Calibrate. Calibrate it. Right, there you go. And I guess you push this, and this, and this. How do you turn it on? Does anyone know how to turn on a DJI Osmo 2? Push the button. I'm so used to using the other one. I don't know. Wait. Didn't I throw the instruction manual over here? I did. This is actually kind of useful. You know, with tech these days, you just figure, why do you even need the instruction manual? It should be so simple that you just intuitively are able to turn it on, and yet I was not able to do that. It's been 6 months since my last Osmo. Now the Osmo 1 was actually pretty good. The biggest problem though was that the batteries would die within less than an hour sometimes. And sometimes when I was doing live streams, the first DJI Osmo would die in the middle of the stream. You can see that in the beginning in some of the live streams. So I had to buy a backup battery. And hold on a second. I found English. They have it. Oh, no, that's French. They have it in several languages. You'd think in English would be in the front. It is. Sometimes, you know, John, installing the DJI Go app, not necessary. Powering on. Okay. I found it. All right. Here we go. All right. Charging and powering on and off. To charge the DJI Mobile 2, connect the USB adapter, blah, 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 blah. Once, with the DJI, here it's down on the bottom, guys. With the Osmo Mobile 2 powered off, press the power mode button once to check the battery level. Press and hold the button for 1.5 seconds to power it on and off. Okay. That sounds easy enough. I'm guessing. That's weird. Usually, when you buy something, it's got some battery in it. But no, not with this thing. They can't do it that way. Oh, are you sleeping? Sorry. Good night. She's sleeping. All right, it's charging. So, I would totally take you in there, but I'd have to pay the cost tomorrow for taking in 445 people into the bedroom with Kanai sleeping. She would not like that. Would anybody? I just want to say thank you to everybody for supporting the live streams. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to have good video yesterday at Amayoko. The camera kind of tilted left and right, so I made it a priority to find a solution, and this was the best that I could do. A lot of people were recommending gimbals, but they weren't out yet. So I think next year the gimbal industry is going to change, but I can't wait. I need something right now, because this channel is so close to 100,000. Do you guys feel it? We're close to 100,000, and we need something now. And so that's what we have. Oh, this is very awkward. That's what we have right now. So I'll have this gimbal. They last about 8 months. All right. The DJI Osmo 1 that I bought lasted for about 7 months. This one lasted for about 10 months. This was good and light. I really did like this. I wish they had it, but they don't make it anymore apparently. I can't find this in Japan. This was really, really good. Look at that. You see this? You can do this all day long because it does that. That's what I like about it. It's safe. It doesn't break. I thought this was indestructible. I guess I was wrong. I'm going to take now some questions about Japan. Okay, hold on. Over here, guys. I didn't really want to do a very long live stream, but I want to take some questions about Japan and see if there's anything I can do to answer because I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this live stream public. But I do like to share what you guys bought. Actually, the money from this came from yesterday's. Didn't like Zhiyun. I actually did. Alan, actually I did. I'm telling you right now. I love this. I have the Crane version 1.2 or 2.1. It's very confusing. I have that for my GH4 and the GH5 camera. I love it. It's very useful. I loved this one too. I had a DJI before, but I moved to this company because the reviews were great, and it is actually really good. If you can find the Smooth Q, it's much better than the DJI Osmo that I bought right now. I just can't find it. Was the app for the app? I don't use any of the apps. I'm literally using YouTube. This is the reason why I don't want to buy the Smooth 4, which is made by this company. I don't need to use the app. I'm not using this to film. I got a camera. Look, the Smooth 4, which is a gimbal that they make, the reason why I'm completely upset is they have this little wheel on it. This wheel that allows you to zoom. You can do the Alfred Hitchcock dolly shot. You can look, if you zoom on an iPhone, there's no optical zoom on it. So you're losing quality the more you zoom. So the fact that it has a wheel that allows you to zoom makes no sense to me. Who zooms on a smartphone? You zoom, not a professional. They call this the professional's tool. A professional, maybe you change the aperture, maybe you change the shutter speed, but if the lens does not have an optical zoom, you do not zoom. Maybe a little bit, but it has no purpose to have a zoom wheel on it. It's just a gimmick. And I didn't want to buy the bigger Smooth 4. And when I asked them, they said to buy the Smooth 4, and I didn't want to do that. The only option that was small, compact, and light was this. DJI. DJI gives you a really cheap case. It smells cheap. It looks cheap. It's not what I wanted. Everything's cheap. This paper's pretty good. Even the gimbal looks cheap. Nosh Abroad's here. I wanted to get the one that you recommended, Nosh, but it's not available yet. You have to pre-order it. I need it now. And this one, it looks cheap. I have to be honest with you. I'm not a big fan of the DJI Osmo Mobile 2. Hold on a second. I can't even power it on. That's scary. It's not even working. All right. So if you have any questions about Japan, and not the gimbal, I will answer them right now because I think that Only in Japan is a show about Japan. And I had 2 people on Patreon quit because they said the live streams had nothing to do with Japan. So I out of their memory, because they quit, quitters, I will continue to. Is traveling to Kyoto hard? In what way? Traveling to Kyoto is really easy. You go on the Shinkansen, you arrive there in 2 hours, and you get off, and you're there. It's pretty easy, no? Let's see here. It didn't cost him anything. It was with backers. Yeah, you know, I have to say thank you. Yesterday, we got a really, everyone saw that this gimbal was broken, we had a lot of people contribute through Super Chats, and it was so much money that's what bought this gimbal, excuse me. So it was through contributions that this gimbal is here in our house right now. They still sell, look, The Smooth Q, I'm seeing here it's being sold here sold in Germany. The Smooth Q is no longer on the website in Japan. I checked the website. They only sell the Smooth 4. They do not smell the Q. They spell the. Oh, I'm so tired. They don't sell the Q anymore. They sell only the Smooth 4, which is fine. But, you know, the only thing available was that at the store, and I needed it. I needed it. John, I'm such a big fan of Only Japan and You. Thank you, Sanket. I appreciate that. What other adventure is in Kyoto other than the Imperial Palace and Temple? Do you mean by adventure or attraction? What other adventure? You know, I like to think that there are food adventures in Kyoto. Kyoto has really good traditional food, and you know, there's a lot of places, I guess in the Gion area especially, there's a ton of izakaya, a ton of traditional restaurants. The sky's the limit, basically. You can spend a little bit and go to a yakitori or a cheap izakaya, or you can go to an expensive shabu shabu restaurant that serves A5 Wagyu and spend a few $100s and even beyond that. So Kyoto has a lot of eating adventures. But I'm going to be going to Kyoto next week, believe it or not. I'm going to be making an episode on the nightlife in Kyoto. And the thing that's unique about it is that it's not something that a lot of people know about. They know about the nightlife in Tokyo, and they know about the nightlife in Osaka. But the nightlife in Kyoto is a little bit not known. Is it involved geisha? I'm not sure. Are there Maiko? I don't know. So I'm going there to find out next week. I'll be in Kyoto for one night, and I'll come back the next day. I'm going to go and film a tour there with some history. So it should be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I really don't know what to expect, and I'm going to make it a Kyoto nightlife episode. Have you been to Fox Village? No. I'm not a big fan of fox mingling with humans. I don't see it. The rabbits are a different thing, though. Make sure you go to Gosia's bar. Oh, hey, Andrew, how you doing? Good suggestion. Andrew knows a lot about beer. The Taihei Yogen label it's a new startup brewery, microbrew here. So it's a pretty neat channel. Hey, Caroline's in the house. How you doing? Have you seen any ghosts in Japan? Jonathan, I told a ghost story about a month and a half ago when I was down on the riverside in Tokyo, and I did see a ghost. I don't talk a lot about it, but I might at another time again. This is not the time. It's like almost midnight. I don't want to talk about ghosts right now. Let's see here. After watching your video, I tried takoyaki, and it was hard to eat that octopus. Rama, yeah, you know, I don't know. I think if you're not used to eating octopus, it's going to be hard for you. But you know what? You just chew it. It's a chewy meat, and it's very healthy. It's got no fat in it. So you have to look at it like that. I love takoyaki, and I love octopus, actually. And I eat it. You can eat it on yakitori. I've eaten it in oden. So it's a really healthy food, and the tentacles are not as bad as people think. It's just chewy. And that's good, right? You get to chew it for a while. Hey, Kat, thank you very much. Thank you, Kat, for the super chat. That rhymes. John, when will we see you driving through the back roads of the countryside? Next month, for sure. It's a promise. I was gonna go this summer. I didn't have time. When I went to Ogasawara, you're gonna see me driving a scooter, a 50cc motorbike, and you need a driver's license to drive a 50cc motorbike. But I haven't driven in a car here for a while. But I'm gonna do some adventures in October and November. So you're gonna see me driving. I'm sorry, I wanted to do this much earlier, but I just haven't had the time to rent the car and go out on a trip. It takes a while. Oh, Kat, hey, Kat's back. Hi, John. I will be in Japan for the next 2 weeks and wanted to see if there's anything to experience in Kobe besides their beef. Oh, Kat. There's a lot to experience in Kobe. I went and did an adventure there it was a video I made, but it was for another company. This was like 5 years ago, just about when I was starting only in Japan. Mount Roko, Roko-san, we say in Japanese, Mount Roko. It has a cable car with a beautiful view at night, but there's so many like weird or unique museums or places to see up there. There's a music box museum, and I was skeptical to go into it. I had to go there for work, but I went to this music box museum, and I was really interested in music boxes all of a sudden. They had so many. I think they have the world's biggest music box. This is up on Mount Roko, and they have a botanical garden, which I thought was really beautiful. I mean, they're like B level attractions, but if you put a bunch of B levels, it could make one A level maybe. So Roko-san up there had some pretty neat stuff, and it had some pretty neat stuff, and then there's the cable car, and the view at night is spectacular. If you get there maybe 30 minutes before sunset, and just chill out on the wall, you can even get some drinks. And yeah, Sannomiya Station has most of the restaurants in the front of it, but a lot of them are chains. And you can ask for the certification to make sure that it is Kobe beef, first of all. There's a 10-digit number that you can plug into the Wagyu database to see where the Wagyu was born. Not a lot of people know about it. I introduced it in my video on Wagyu last year. I think, did I release that? Yeah, at the end of last year, I introduced the Wagyu video. You should check it out if you do eat Kobe beef. If it's too cheap, be suspicious. That's all I'm going to say. If the Kobe beef is too cheap, be suspicious. Lunch is the most affordable time. 100 grams should cost you at least $100. I'm just saying. I'm putting it out there. 100 grams of real Kobe beef should cost you at least $100, even in Japan, even in Kobe. Kobe beef is rare. They only have a few thousand cattle that are designated as Kobe beef. After you've eaten your Kobe beef, what you gotta do, go to Chinatown and you can eat some more. Kobe's Chinatown is one of the most authentic Chinatowns, and it's weird because Japanese Chinatowns are usually, it's sanitized in a way. It's like Chinese food, but it's different. I don't know, my one friend said, it's China, but it's cleaner. And I think that's not exactly true, but it could be. I don't know. China's changing a lot, but the food was really good. They had like different kinds of ramens there. They had some good like Chinese food. You can have Chinese food. There tapioca drinks and things like this. Then the last thing in Kobe that I think is really that really stands out. There's two things. There's Arima Onsen, which is one of the top onsen. It's one of the 3 oldest onsen in Japan. You should check out Arima Onsen, A-R-I-M-A, Arima. That if you have the time and the funds to spend a night or two there, it's a beautiful place. It's very traditional, spiritual, and it's one of the oldest onsen, one of the top 3, Arima Onsen. And then there's the harbor. Kobe's harbor is beautiful, and there's in 1996, 2 years before I arrived in Japan, I know that the harbor, that Kobe had the big earthquake, and the whole city was really, I wouldn't say the whole city was destroyed, that's too strong of a word, but it was devastated. And you can see remnants of the 1996 earthquake at the harbor. They have a part where the sidewalk cracked and fell into the harbor a little bit, and you can see the light and all the damage that happened as a result of it. That was kind of interesting to see the history, because that was 2 years before I arrived. Then there's a bunch of shopping malls that are interesting to go to, and you can sit out on decks and just watch the harbor and watch the boats. I love that. I really love that. And there's a monorail in Kobe that you can ride out to the beach, not to the beach, but to the seaside. But Kobe is not just Kobe. Kobe also has Akashi Kaikyo Ohashi. I think that's how it's said. It's the longest suspension bridge in the world, which is really beautiful to see. That's a couple of stations away from Sannomiya. And then there's Himeji Castle, which is not far away. And then there's Suma Beach. Suma is the best beach in the area. It's beautiful there. So there's a lot of stuff to do in Kobe. I know the area. I used to live there. I used to live in Kobe. Hey, Mix is in the house. Hey, Mix. Hey, John, I'm going to Nagoya next year. Wow, Nagoya. What do you recommend to see there? Is going to Takayama for 2 days a good length as a side trip? I think it is. I'm really happy to hear that you're going to Takayama. It's the Hida area. Hida-gyu is really good. Hida is one of the most traditional places that you can go to, the village of Hida, where you can get an inside look at traditional Japan like it was back then. Because I don't think the village, even with all the tourists that go there to Takayama, it still really retains the charm of traditional Japan. And if you want to see Japan, you have to get out of Tokyo. And that's one of the places that I highly recommend. My mom loves it. And my mom, if she loves it, it's pretty good because she's sometimes a little picky. A little. But Takayama, she always talks about it. You have to get one of those sarubobos. Do you know what the sarubobo is? It's one of these red dolls, and they have no face. It's kind of creepy, but they're really cute, creepy cute. And you have to get a sarubobo, which is one of the red dolls, which is really cool. But 2 days is pretty good. 2 days will work, I think. Yeah, 1 night, 2 days. I think 2 nights would be better, but staying in a ryokan is kind of pricey. 2 nights in the ryokan is good and is relaxing, but 1 night and 2 days is enough time. See the village if you can, the Hida village. It's a really good open air museum. I really enjoyed that, and just walking around the streets is an experience in Takayama. There's a lot to do. Just try not to overdo it, okay? Try not to overdo it, and just take in the city as well as a couple of the attraction, but you can always go back. I say that like you can always go back, but it's not easy for everybody. Kat, thank you very much for the information. That was helpful. I'm glad that helped you. If you have any more questions, just send me a message. If you do, send it through Instagram or Patreon though. Instagram is the only other one I check. I don't check Facebook as much though. I used to. Maybe I might go back to Facebook. Have you been to Formula One Grand Prix in Japan? Writes in Yorkshire Tier. I haven't yet. You know who does go to Grand Prix here? My friend Andrew, who's from the beer maker, who's been chatting, and Andrew knows a lot about that. Maybe he can write in something about the Grand Prix. I'll be in Yamaguchi next month. Can you suggest a nice gift for my future in-laws from Yamaguchi Prefecture? Wow. What? Like Fugu Kit Kat would be pretty nasty. I don't know what they have down there. Yamaguchi also has Dasai Sake, but you can get that anywhere. Yamaguchi has good seafood. Oh, I remember that. But that's a tough one. I don't know. Down in Yamaguchi. Yamaguchi is the prefecture right between Fukuoka and Hiroshima. So Yamaguchi Kintaikyo. Yeah, Yamaguchi Kintaikyo is in Iwakuni. So yeah, Channel Omu, thank you for the suggestion. Yeah, Kintaikyo is the bridge with the 3, how would I say that? It goes up and down 3 times, 3 humps. Iwakuni is a beautiful bridge, and there's tons of gifts that you can buy there with Kintaikyo. Yeah. Iwakuni is beautiful. Doors of Travel writes in, what are some good national parks to go in Japan? I'm glad you asked that. In Hokkaido, there's the Daisetsukan National Park, which is beautiful. It's like pristine nature up in Hokkaido, and that's near Asahikawa. Another national park is Oze in Fukushima. I know and Fukushima sets off like alarms to a lot of people, but for me, Fukushima still, because I live there, it means a natural place. And this is out in the countryside of Fukushima. Oze is beautiful. It's beautiful from spring, from May to around now until October. It's stunningly beautiful. And you have these long views of the mountains and really beautiful walkways. It's well preserved. Very natural area in Oze. Another national park. Tokyo has a ton of national parks. Some of them here in Japan, but I'm gonna have to say the best I've been to, and it's cheating a little bit, is Chichijima in Ogasawara. The entire area is a national park. That's where I jumped into the sea, and you're swimming with dolphins. It's crazy. You're gonna see this because I have video on this, right? You jump into the sea and there's dolphins like around you. Like, what is this weird place? They call it the Galapagos of the East, and it's a 24-hour ferry ride to get there, but it was so worth it for me. A lot of people that are living in Japan, expats, if you do ever get a chance and you have the time, just take a week and go there and come back. You can't stay there for 3 days. You have to stay there for an entire week to really soak it in. But it's one of the most rewarding trips that you'll take because it's just stunning. Chichijima, and the Borean Islands out there and the history. It was just something that I'll never forget. I'm glad I went. National parks. There's so many of them that are so nice. But Hokkaido has the best ones, I'd say. I want to visit Miyagi Prefecture in the future. Wow, this is from AJ and Mugen Gaming. Want to visit Miyagi Prefecture. Is there any good place to see in Miyagi? Yeah, that's where Sendai is. Sendai is the biggest city there, and it's famous for gyutan, which is the beef tongue, and that's also where Matsushima is. Matsushima are the white cliffs of Japan. I like Miyagi. I used to live in Fukushima, and when I wanted to go to the big city, Tokyo was 4 hours away, and Sendai was 3. So a couple of times I went to Sendai, because that was the closest big city. And Sendai is a pretty neat city. It's big enough that it's a big city, but it's small enough that it's very manageable to see. Matsushima is the coast of Sendai, so you can get there pretty easily. I think that's where one of the cat islands are in Miyagi. Miyagi also was hit pretty hard from the tsunami, and I know that if you go out to the coast, they'd really appreciate it, because I think the tourist industry used to be a lot bigger on the coast there, going up from Fukushima all the way up to Iwate Prefecture, and they don't get a lot of tourists because of what happened, and it might be really good to go there. If you do go to Iwate Prefecture, which is a little bit north of there, there's some beautiful cities along the coast there too. Miyagi though is really nice, and I'm glad to hear that you're going to go and visit them. They could use a little bit more attention, and I hope to go and visit them sometime as well. Eric writes in, "Hey John, keep up the good work." Eric for Patreon. Thank you, Eric. It's always nice to see you. Thanks, by the way, yesterday for the super chat. I used that to get the gimbal. I do appreciate all of the support. It does make a big difference in the show. Where are some of the best, most dramatic beaches in Japan, especially on the Sea of Japan side? Caroline, wow, you always have really good questions. Caroline, you've seen a lot of Japan as well. You know, when I was hitchhiking last year, I got a chance to see some of the best beaches. I was surprised. The thing is that the Sea of Japan doesn't have the same kind of beaches as the Pacific, because the sea is rougher there. It's weird. It's colder and it's rougher, and there's a lot of wind. So not a lot of people are at the beaches down there. Yonago City had a beautiful beach looking, and you could see Mount Daisen in the distance, which looks like Mount Fuji. I really like that along the Sea of Japan. I'm a huge fan of Tottori Prefecture. I think there's a lot of unspoiled nature there, and Daisen, which is the mountain there, is such a beautiful, not touristed, not enough tourist place, which is good. Meaning it's kind of like a jewel in the rough. So the beaches there were good, and Fukui, believe it or not, Fukui Prefecture had some pretty neat beaches when I was coming up. Fukui, and not far from Tottori City, along there were some neat, I don't know if they're beaches, but the landscape was beautiful. Fukui had some neat beaches. I was surprised by that. Obama, the city of Obama, had a beach, which was nice. Obama used to be the gateway to Japan like 1,000 years ago. And the first elephant that came to Japan, I don't know why I know all this useless information. The first elephant came through Obama City. In fact, a lot of the things from China came through Obama City because it was the start of the path that led to Kyoto. So Obama City had a pretty neat beach that no one was doing it because everyone is elderly. They don't have enough young people in Obama City. And I'm going to say probably down in Kyushu, there's going to be some beautiful beaches down in Kyushu. Nagasaki Prefecture, Kagoshima, which is sort of on the Sea of Japan. I guess if you look at Saga, that probably has a beautiful beach. And then there's Yamaguchi and Shimane had some beautiful beaches. Now, the Sea of Japan is a fisherman's paradise. It's good for fishing. But I didn't see, the beaches are much better on the Pacific side. That's my opinion, though. I could be wrong. Let's see here. I'll take one more question. Maybe two. Good night, John. Hey, Sanket, good night. Thanks for joining in. The ghost stories in the video, Tokyo Midnight Ride Along the River. Right, Simon at 48:30. So you can see the ghost story that I talk about there. There's another ghost story that I'm going to do, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do it yet, because apparently if I cover it, I might get cursed, and I don't want to get cursed. I don't want to get cursed. Oh, Caroline, you went to the place by taxi. Yeah, where there's one tree. I did a live stream on that. That's a really beautiful place. I'm glad that he showed me that. I'm going to be doing one on halal food, and it's going to be halal food in Japan, just because people have been asking me a lot about it. So Game's Head, I will do one on this, because I know that we have a lot of viewers from Malaysia, from the Middle East, from places where that's a concern. So, I hear you, and I'm going to cover that. I'm actually really curious about it. I don't know a lot about halal food, and maybe a lot of people that are watching this don't. But so it's an opportunity for me to just check out something new. Have you been to Satoyama? I have, but I haven't spent much time there. I think you need to spend some time there. So it's an option to make an episode in Satoyama. It is a beautiful place. I've been just about everywhere. Let's see. I'm really curious about what the ghost story location. I'm not going to tell you yet. Are you a SMAP fan? Jonathan? Not really. I like the individual members, but as a band, I don't know. They have a couple of good songs, but some of the members, they're kind of cool, but I'm kind of glad that they broke up, because it's time to move on. You can't use that. They couldn't be forever. You know what? I bet you they get back together for the Olympics. I bet you they do. But they got other lives. They had other things that they want to do with their lives. They started really young, SMAP did. And after 20 years of success, you got to move on and do new stuff, I guess. Do you use a GoPro? I do. Doors of Travel. Actually, I can tell you about the story. When I was in Ogasawara 2 weeks ago, before I came back, I was doing the ending part of the scuba diving episode that I'm editing right now. And as I was coming back onto the boat, I dropped the GoPro Hero 5 Black. That had the ending to the episode, which really made me upset. But as I was getting on the boat, just and the camera sunk like a stone. It sunk like a stone to the bottom, 30 meters down to the bottom. And the sun was setting, so I couldn't go back and get it. I was sad about that. It's a couple $100 value. So I have to get a new GoPro. So I'm going to go get the GoPro Hero 7, which is out today. Or tomorrow, I think it comes out tomorrow. So I'll probably get that. It has good internal stabilization, so I see the benefits of it. But I hate wasting money on things I don't need. But, I lost it. Now that camera really is swimming with the fishes. W actually got that right. Swimming with the fishes. I was sad to when it dropped. I was panicking. Like, should I jump in and get it? What should I do? I gotta communicate that I was gonna go do this, but before I could do it, it just was gone. Nothing I could do. Please don't drop the new GoPro now. I'm gonna make sure that it has some flotation or something next time. I took the GoPro out of the case so I can get better audio. Big mistake. Big mistake. What are some good places to ski? Seth Lim. The most popular place is Niseko up in Hokkaido and Hakuba. And I like Hakuba. It's close to Tokyo and it's got a really good vibe to it, Hakuba. It's like in Niigata, Nagano, Niigata area. You can take the Shinkansen there, I believe. Or you can get the Shinkansen pretty close to it and then take a bus. But a lot of people love Hakuba. If you go there, you're probably going to be a repeater to Hakuba. If you come in the winter, it's a good idea to go to Hakuba, even for a day, even if you don't ski, just to take it in. It's a pretty cool little village, and if you ski, you probably go back to Hakuba. Yeah, Niseko is pretty cool. Yeah, float the GoPro. Trust me, I'm going to take really good care of the GoPro. Is there a gadget that measures your spiritual pressure? Not, maybe in Japan, I don't know, somewhere. Use an arm strap next time. I took it out of the case. That was my fault. Any public transport to Mount Fuji in winter? Susan. That's a good question. That's a really good question. To Mount Fuji, do you mean the 5th station? That's usually where the cars can go to. I don't know. But there's a bus that leaves from Shinjuku Station. I think it's a Keisei bus or the Keio bus. Keio bus. It leaves from the Yodobashi camera on next to Shinjuku Station, and it takes you directly to the Mount Fuji 5th station. It's the most convenient way to get there. Like, it literally takes you to the entrance of Mount Fuji. And that leaves in the summer. I don't know about the winter. You probably have to take the Shinkansen to Fuji Station and then take the local train to Fujinomiya. And then from Fujinomiya, I think there's a local bus that goes there, but it's not every hour. The best way to get there is to hitchhike, or you can just walk there. It's a little bit further, but you can walk to the 5th station. I don't know if the shops are open. They might be. I don't know. It's a good question. I am really tired, Andrea. Tomorrow, I'm going to bed right now. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna end this live stream. Tomorrow, I'm going to do a YouTube event in Roppongi, and this event is held for YouTubers from the Asia region. And I went to the YouTube Creators Summit last month in Seoul, Korea, which is awesome. They paid for everything, which is like the best trip ever. And now they're doing one in Japan, and I got an invitation to go to that. You have to be invited to these kind of events. So it's going to be pretty neat, and I don't know if I'm going to do a live stream or not. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing there. I think we're going to be doing some workshops and stuff, learning about YouTube and how I can do better with the channel. But that's what I'll be tomorrow, and we will see. The Seishun Jachi Keep Challenge, I've already done it. I've traveled the entire country with a Seishun Jachi Keep. I just didn't film it. It's really an amazing pass. You know, when you have a JR Rail Pass, you can fly on the Shinkansen, right? You fly, I mean that by going fast. But the Seishun Jachi Keep is the cheapest local train pass that I can get. And it's really cool because local train, you get to see the culture, the people. You see the sights better because it's slower. You take the rail lines that the Shinkansen doesn't go on, so you see it from a different perspective. I love the local trains in Japan. I didn't film it because I came here in 1998, and in 1998 to 2003, I didn't have a video camera, and I did a lot of traveling in those 6 years. I was working as an English teacher, living in a new city every 3 months, and I got to know each region of Japan naturally by living in them. That's why I know a lot of stuff about the country, not just because I've been here for a long time, but because I've lived in every different area of the country. Thanks, guys, for the question. I appreciate you guys taking the time to hang out with me for a little bit. I'm going to go to bed. I got a long day tomorrow. I got to wake up in 7 hours. So see you guys. Have a good day, good night. You can leave questions in the comments below. If you like these Q&A, hit the like button. Support the live stream by hitting the like button because that determines whether or not I do this again. As much as the views and the likes. If you guys like something that I do, then I do more of it. So I do like doing Q&A with you guys. Better get to sleep. Yeah, I know. Trust me, I know. I feel it. All right. And you just joined? Wait a second. Andy just joined. Andy Ross. I'm so sorry, buddy. I'm so sorry. Andy, gosh, I feel like I should tell a joke, like a departing joke for Andy. You know, Andy catches a live stream and then I'm leaving. It just doesn't seem right, does it? Okay, hold on a second. All right, I think we've charged this up. Let's see if this actually works. Is it working? How does this work? One, two. Come on, DJI. What? 1, 2. That's DJI's way. You have to push it twice. 1, 2. What? Am I pushing the wrong button? Come on. Anybody? You know what? The other one works better. How long are you gonna press it for? Hopefully we have better luck with this tomorrow. DJI. I'm kind of worried. I'm gonna keep the receipt. I did charge it up for like 30 minutes. It's been charging while I've been talking to you. Maybe it isn't charged enough. That's crazy. It's been charging for like 30 minutes. At least it should stabilize for 5 seconds, right? I'm sorry. Andy Ross, I'm so sorry, man. You just joined. I wanted to give you something better. Bad news. There's a battery indicator. It says 1 bar. I'll figure it out tomorrow. Hey guys, thanks so much for spending your time with me. I know it's midnight here, and wherever you are in the world, it might even be in the middle of the night. I don't know. But thanks again for watching and supporting, and I will see you tomorrow because I'm going to YouTube. Good night.